The Avalanche take on the Panthers, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Both teams are minus $1.10, totals 5.5. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at brockpage.com. We're 6-0 in our last 6 NFL tier package picks on brockpage.com. We're also 3-0 in our last 3 college football tier package picks on that very same website. We currently have over 850 members who are signed up and active on that page. And once again, if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at brockpage.com. Now, Darcy Kuemper is the expected goaltender for Colorado. Sergei Bobrovsky for Florida. Now, Bobrovsky's 2-0 on this season with a .248 goals against average, .935 save percentage. The undefeated Panthers are also in the top 5 in scoring on average per game. Anthony Duclair and Sam Bennett, they each have 3 goals apiece. Meanwhile, Alex Barkov, he has 5 total points himself, and he's a +6. They're taking on a Colorado team who's on a 2-game losing streak, and they gave up 11 total goals in those losses. The Avalanche, they're currently in the bottom 5 in goals allowed per game. Darcy Kuemper's also got himself a .379 goals against average and an .890 save percentage. Now, total-wise, Colorado's 3-0 to the over, depending on where you shopped at. Meanwhile, Florida's 2-0 to the over on their home ice. I'm going to lean toward the Florida Panthers minus $1.10 and the over 5.5. Next contest, Capitals Devils, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Washington is minus 130, total 6.5. Vitek Vanacek in net for the Caps. Jonathan Bernier for New Jersey. Little bit different story this year for Bernier, as he's 2-0 with a .248 goals against average and a .911 save percentage. Now, the Devils are also allowing only 28 shots on goal a game. Meanwhile, offensively, they're currently in the top 10 in scoring on average per contest. Jack Hughes has a couple of goals thus far in the season. Ryan Graves is a +7. Now, total-wise, Jersey's 2-0 to the over thus far in the season. Meanwhile, Washington has seen 2 out of their last 3 get over the number themselves. I'm going to lean toward New Jersey plus $1.10 and the over 6.5. Next contest, Hurricanes Canadiens, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. The Carolina Hurricanes are minus 130, numbers 5.5. Freddie Anderson for the Canes, Jake Allen for Montreal. Allen's 0-3 on the season with a .305 goals against average and an .885 save percentage. The Canadiens are 0-4 thus far in the year, and they're dead last in the league in scoring. They're taking on a 2-0 Carolina club who's got Freddie Anderson in the net. 2-0 record on the year with a .250 goals against average, .926 save percentage. Meanwhile, scoring-wise, the Canes scored 9 total goals in 2 contests. Andrei Svechnikov has 3 of those goals, along with an assist. I'm going to lean toward the Carolina Hurricanes minus 130 and the over 5.5. Next game, Sharks Senators, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Both teams are minus $1.10, numbers 6. James Reimer for the Sharks, Matt Murray for the Senators. Ottawa's in the bottom 10 in scoring on average per game. They're averaging only 28 shots on goal per game as well. Meanwhile, defensively, Ottawa's allowing 38 shots on goal. Now, they're taking on a 2-0 Sharks team who scored 9 total goals in their 2 victories. In addition to that, Jonathan Dahlin, he's got a pair of goals on the season. Carlson and Meyer with 4 points apiece themselves. Meanwhile, defensively, the Sharks are allowing only 22 shots on goal a game. Now, when it comes to the number in this one, Ottawa's 2-0 to the under at home this season, 3-0 to the under overall at any location. I'm going to lean towards San Jose minus $1.10 in the under 6. Next matchup, Islanders Blue Jackets, 7 o'clock East. New York's minus 135, totals 5.5. Semyon Varlamov for New York. Elvis Merzlikins for Columbus. Numbers Lincoln's is 2-0 with a 148 goals against average and a 948 save percentage. Columbus is 2-0 straight up at home, and they're in the top 3 in the league in home scoring per game. Bjorkstrand and Jenner, they have 2 goals apiece. Max Domi's a +4 along with 4 total points. They're taking on an Islanders club who lost 2 of 3 to start the season. The Islanders are in the bottom 10 in goals allowed per contest. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, 7 out of New York's last 9 meetings with Columbus stayed under the total. Meanwhile, the Blue Jackets saw 2 out of their 3 contests on the season stay under the line. I'm going to lean toward Columbus plus $1.15 and the under 5.5. Next game, Flames, Red Wings, 7:30 Eastern start time. Calgary's minus $1.35, total 6. Jake Markstrom for the Flames. Alex Nedeljkovic for Detroit. Now the Red Wings, believe it or not, are on a 2-game winning streak. Top 10 in the league in scoring on average per game. Tyler Bertuzzi, he's tied for the league lead with 5 goals. He's also a +7, which is tied for the league lead as well. Dylan Larkin's also a +5 and has 3 total points himself. They're taking on a Calgary team who lost their opening 2 games of 2021. The Flames are averaging only 2 goals a game, and they rank in the bottom 10 in goals allowed per contest. Jake Markstrom comes into Thursday's game with a .344 goals against average and an .881 save percentage. And now total-wise, 5 out of these teams' last 6 meetings did get over the line. I'm going to lean toward Detroit plus $1.15 in the over 6. Next game, Ducks, Jets, 8 o'clock East. Winnipeg's minus $2, numbers 5.5. Connor Hellebuck for the Jets, John Gibson for Anaheim. Now Gibson's 2-0 in this season, 146 goals against average, 961 save percentage. Anaheim's also in the top 5 in road scoring. Kevin Shattenkirk has 3 goals thus far in the season. Jake Silverberg with 6 total points himself. Now they're taking on a winless Winnipeg team who's in the bottom 3 in goals allowed per contest. Connor Hellebuck's got a .467 goals against average and an .856 save percentage. Those numbers will get better as the season goes on, but certainly not the start that Hellebuck, a seasoned veteran, is looking for. Now total-wise, 2 out of Winnipeg's last 3 contests did get over the line. I'm going to lean toward Anaheim plus 1.5 and the over 5.5 goals. Next contest, Rangers, Preds, 8 o'clock East. The Nashville Predators are minus 120, totals 5.5. UC Saros for Nashville, Igor Shesterkin for New York. Now, Igor's 2-0 on the year with a 162 goals against average and a 949 save percentage. Now, the Rangers are on a 2-game winning streak, and they allowed just 2 total goals in those victories. They're taking on a Nashville team who lost 2 of 3 at home, and they averaged just 2.3 goals a game in those contests. Now, total-wise, Nashville is 2-1 to the under on the year. Rangers are 4-0 to the under, depending on where you shopped at. I'm going to lean toward the New York Rangers plus $1 and the under 5.5. Next contest, Canucks versus the Blackhawks, 8:30 p.m. East. Chicago's minus $1.25, total 6. Marc-Andre Fleury for Chicago. Thatcher Demko for Vancouver. Demko comes into this game with a .910 save percentage. Meanwhile, offensively, Vancouver's in the top 5 in shots on goal. JT Miller's got 5 total points on the year. Garland with 4. They're taking on a Chicago team who's winless in 4 games, and they rank in the bottom 10 in goals allowed. Marc-Andre Fleury looks like a shell of himself. 563 goals against average, 840 save percentage. Once again, early in the year, but still, definitely not expecting those types of numbers out of Fleury. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Chicago's last 4 got over the line. Vancouver saw 2 out of their last 3 get over the total themselves. Give me Vancouver plus 105 and the over 6. Next and final matchup, Oilers, Coyotes, 10 o'clock East. Edmonton's minus 180, total 6. Mikko Koskinen's got a .214 goals against average for the Oilers, 952 save percentage. Meanwhile, offensively, the 3-0 Oilers are in the top 3 in scoring on average per game. Connor McDavid's got 4 goals and 4 assists thus far in the year. Leon Draisaitl, a pair of goals and 6 assists himself. Now they're taking on a winless Arizona team who allows more goals per contest than any other team in hockey. Meanwhile, offensively, the Coyotes are scoring only 2.3 goals a game. Now, when it comes to the scoring in this one, 2 out of Arizona's last 3 contests did get over the line. Meanwhile, Edmonton saw 2 out of their last 3 get over the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward Edmonton minus 180 and the over 6 goals. And for that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are 6-0 in our last 6 NFL tier package picks on that site. I like Florida minus $1.10 over 5.5. New Jersey plus $1.10 over 6.5. Carolina minus 130 over 5.5 goals. San Jose minus $1.10 under 6. Columbus plus $1.15 under 5.5. Detroit plus $1.15 over 6. Anaheim plus 1.5 over 5.5 goals. New York Rangers plus $1 under 5.5. Vancouver plus 105 over 6 goals. And before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 6-0 in our last 6 NFL tier package picks on brockpage.com. We're also 3-0 in our last 3 college football tier package picks on that site as well. I'm going to lean toward Edmonton minus 180 and the over 6. And with that, guys, now it's time for our shout out of the day. And that's going to go to Han Yen, who said earlier today, thanks, Cam on. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. If you end up getting a membership here today on that website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today on brockpage.com, you are going to get access to that content all the way through the end of October. I always tell folks, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later. I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.